Hello, John.
Hello.
So most of you know John Tidy. I mean, John, you've been at our church sort of, I reckon, just about quarter of a century, around that kind of area now.
Since 1997 or 8.
1997, okay, just a touch more.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, St John's, yeah, that's right. So let's just begin our story. On the screen here, we have John, your mum and dad. Here they are.
Yes.
Tell us about your mum and dad.
Well, my mum and dad were... My dad was a plumber. My mum worked in a chocolate factory somewhere over there.
Okay.
Needlers. And...
what were their names?
That's Vivian and Alice.
Vivian, okay.
Vivian Harry Tidy.
Vivian Harry Tidy.
VHT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And Alice. Okay, brilliant. And that's a lovely photo, isn't it? It's just a really beautiful photo.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Now, tell me about your dad. You said he was in the First World War.
He was in the First World War, and he was a prisoner in the last year, 1918.
Okay.
Of the war last year.
In where? Where was he a prisoner?
In Germany.
Prisoner in Germany. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Did he ever talk about the war with you much then?
Not really. No. But I think I found some paperwork, and then I went to a place in the town where I could find some more paperwork.
Oh, there we go. A bit of research. Good. Now, you are one of 3.
Yes.
Tell us about your siblings. Who have you got?
Well, I have my brother and sister. My sister was about 15 years older than me, and my brother was 13 years older than me.
So, John, you were very much the little kid.
The little one, yeah.
In fact, here's a photo you can hold on to.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, who's that?
That's my sister, and that's me in the pram.
Okay, yeah.
And Jeff and I were there yesterday.
Oh, look, watch this. So yesterday we went on a trip, and it is, I mean, we had to slightly step into the gun to get the photo. I didn't go further back, but look at that. I'll put it in colour. So where were you born, John?
Newbridge Road. There are a certain number of streets which are all South African townships. Rensburg, Rustenburg, Steenburg, Winburg and Escort. And I was born in Rensburg Street.
So that's where we were yesterday. We had a little road trip.
That's where we were yesterday.
So you were brought up in that house, and that kind of ran into the war. But what happened next? Why did you have to move?
Oh, well, Hitler came along and he said, "I'm going to blow your roof off." So there was us and another family and 1 or 2 other families. We had to leave the house.
Okay.
And we moved in with this other family of 4 girls, and then they had another 1/5. So we moved into next door but one to Portobello Street Church on Holderness Road, down Holderness Road.
So that's your Rensburg house. I forgot we got that one as well. Let me go 2 forward. Oh, there, look, this is the house on Holderness Road where John lived with this other family that had 5 girls.
Yes, yeah.
We popped there yesterday on a little road trip. It's still there, yeah.
It's near East Park where we usually
So
go.
this was in the immediate aftermath. You had 2 families living in one house.
When I was about 2, I think because I was 2 when 2 or 1 when the war started. Mm-hmm. Oh, don't tell anybody that, will you?
We don't know your age, eh?
So that's because the war started in 39.
It did. Good. But 41 was probably when the bombing happened, or do you think it was earlier?
It might have been 42 or something.
Anyway, like yeah, okay.
Something like that.
Right.
But they blew a lot of roofs off in Hull, and I don't know why Hull came into that, but
right.
So we moved to live together in another big house on next door, but one to Portobello Street Church, further out of town, going east.
Yeah.
And then we left there when I was 5, and I was taken in a pram. We went to East Park Avenue, near where the
just there. So this is
not far from when we go to the park. You know, we go to East Park.
This is very near the splash boat in
The
East
splash
Park,
boat.
just down that road. So there it is. So you lived in the house you're stood in front of there.
Then until I
and
was 20.
And the people they lived with for that short time in the same house got the neighbouring house that's just
Next
in
door
that
to each
picture
other.
as well there.
So we were friends for years.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's amazing how... Yeah.
And then... but I always remember me going on the water shows, but also I remember going... Am I wasting time?
No.
I remember when I was 15, I ran the whole of the way around, because I loved running, all the way around the whole park. And when we got back to the water shoot, there was a bench behind a tree, and I sat on it and fainted through the back.
It's a good story, that, isn't it? Yeah. Got picked up and... Yeah. Let's just talk about going back to your kind of thinking about your spiritual life. So did you go to church as a young child?
Yes, I was brought up to go to Sunday school, yes.
Okay, and what church was that at?
Well, it was the church that my wife's uncle was the pastor on, and he called it Fig Tree Gospel Hall.
Okay, Fig Tree Gospel Hall. We'll come back to it in a bit, but we'll just set the scene there. Fig Tree Gospel Hall, right.
Yeah.
There's a couple of family photos I skipped over. Let's look at this one.
You haven't changed a bit.
We are reliably informed by the back of this photo that John was 2 years and 8 months old here. Isn't that a great photo? Yeah.
Oh,
It's good. Nice jacket.
yeah. Where's the teddy gone, though?
Yes, Ivy.
Who was the pastor of Fig Tree?
Gideon Gardner.
Oh, I knew him.
Oh, did you?
There we go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was my wife's uncle.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Gideon Gardner, Fig Tree Hall. We'll come back to that bit in a minute, but we'll just go back one more photo, which I also have here. Who is this, John, in this photo?
Oh, that's my grandma, and that's in Newbridge Road, and she was a midwife, and that's why I'm here.
This is... So Connie Tidy.
Constance, yes.
Constance Tidy, yeah. Midwife, it just says early 1900s.
Although my daughter's middle name was Constance.
We tried to find on Newbridge Road if we could find that architecture, but I couldn't find it. Yeah, just no. I mean,
those houses are there.
There are a lot of old houses, but I just couldn't determine where it was. Otherwise, I would have loved to take a picture of him outside that, but it was not possible. Right. So you lived on East Park Ave. You were going to church every week.
Yeah, Sunday school.
Sunday
catch the bus
school.
to the town, then come home in the morning, and then go back on the bus to the Sunday school.
Great. So you didn't have a car
Oh no,
growing
car?
up? No, not at all. Right.
No.
So this street parking problem that we have didn't really exist then, did it?
No. My dad never had a car anyway.
There we go. Great. So there you are, going to Sunday school. Your dad's working away as a plumber.
Yeah.
Your brother and sister left obviously home significantly before you because they were a lot older than you.
Oh yeah, they both got married, and my sister went to live in Harrogate for a couple of years. This is a story, and I cycled there when I was about 15.
Yeah.
From Hull to
Harrogate. Yeah.
And then I went to the Sunday service with them, and I've forgotten his name now. There's an evangelist there.
Right.
David Hathaway, and he asked if anybody would like to be prayed for healing or anything. So I went to the front, was prayed for, and I was healed instantly of asthma.
Yeah, so you'd struggled with asthma all your life up to that point.
Up to that point.
Yeah, and then from then, that was it.
That was it.
Never asthma. That's amazing.
So-
That's a great story. But now, did that change your thinking about the Lord?
I can't quite remember, but I became a Christian just after that.
Just after, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but it was amazing. This evangelist, I think he's still alive. He's in his 90s.
Is he?
Because I rang the company that produced a magazine, and his name was in it. So I rang the company and
there you go.
asked if he was still alive.
David Hathaway.
David Hathaway.
I've never heard of him. Has anybody heard of David Hathaway? No.
Oh,
Oh, Marita has. Do you know anything more? Okay, but you have heard of him. That's good. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
Now, John, this is a rather amazing photo that I also did put on the email. How old do you think you are here?
Probably about 15, 16.
Yeah. Nice photo, that, isn't it? It's good.
Wearing my tie.
Okay. So, what schools did you go to?
Well, first of all, because we lived with a Catholic family, my first few months or a year, I went to their Catholic school.
Okay, yeah.
And then
Your asthma was bad.
my asthma was bad, so they sent me to the open air school, which is not far from the
So the open air school was on Inglemeyer Lane. Do you remember? Does everybody remember?
It's just you go.
It's just beyond uni. Well, it's beyond uni.
When we come out of the
St Mary's.
St Mary's and you
Yeah.
turn right.
Just go straight
Go
on. Over
straight
there.
on past there's the university, and then there's St Mary. No, not St Mary.
Newland School for Girls.
Newland
Back
School
off.
for Girls.
Yeah.
And then the next field
that next
was
gap.
the open air school, and all the classrooms were wooden sheds with tarpaulin curtains for walls that you open in the summer, and drop down leaves for the summer. But in the winter, we had to sit with our coats on and blankets around our legs, and the teachers had their coats on as well. But then, after lunch, we all went to bed for an hour because there was a long shed full of beds, boys and girls, and we all went to bed for an hour.
I think that's brilliant. I love that story. I've heard that.
So I was there for about 4 years ish.
Yeah. Okay.
And then eventually I was sent to Maybury High School, not far from where that house that we lived with those people.
Yeah, Maybury High School. Yeah, right.
But that,
Maybury High School.
but it's
It's
not
a
there
primary-
anymore. It's
no.
not there anymore.
It's not there anymore. No.
No, and neither is the open air school. The open air school moved somewhere in East Hull, but it's not. There's none. It's not there anymore.
No.
But
Well,
it did really well for my health, and I used to love racing and running.
Yeah, that's a story. So, what were you like at school? Were you concentrated? Were you applied? Were you just middle of the road? What were you like?
Middle of the road.
John Tidy, middle of the road. Okay, good. We'll move on. So you got through Maybury, and you
Then at 15, I got an apprenticeship at the printing company, Archibald and Johnson's, and
we went there yesterday as well. It's not exactly the
That's
same,
right.
but look,
That's
there's
right.
the gate where you reckon.
that door there, I think, is the back entrance. There.
Yeah, and then we didn't. I
Yeah.
didn't go around the front in the end.
But I served my apprenticeship. But before I'd finished my apprenticeship, I got to the age of 20, and I had to go and do my national service in the RAF. So I had to go there. Oh yeah.
But let's just rewind a minute though. We'll go RAF in a second. Let's just talk about church
Put them on.
and how you kind of were interacting with the Lord at the time. You've got, I think you said you were going to Fig Tree, but now your sister, I think it was coming over.
Oh no, my sister and her husband had moved to Harrogate.
Yeah,
Oh, and then they came back to Hull.
yeah. There was something to do with the film.
That's right.
Tell us that story.
And two ladies were coming from America, from a church in America, bringing a film, and I can't remember anything of what it was now. And we went to the City Temple in Hessel Road, and I was right up on the balcony at the top, and they showed this film, and then an appeal was made for people who wanted to come to know the Lord and be saved. So about 30 of us went out to the front to be prayed for and interviewed singly.
Yeah, like
And I got saved that night. And then I remember, because my sister had asked me to babysit while they came, and her and her husband went there. And then she said on the day before, "Oh, I'll stay at home and you can go with John, my brother-in-law." I said, "You cheeky! I thought you cheeky monkey."
So this is evangelistic method.
Yeah.
Set someone up for babysitting.
But
then
anyway,
pull out and send a
saved,
person.
I got saved that night, and as I was on the way home in the bus, I looked in the window to see if my face was shining.
And was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So how would you say
And my
that?
life was turned upside down.
Yeah, go on. Tell us about that. What kind of changed this?
Well, I stopped swearing overnight.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, and I knew I was born again as Christian.
Praise the Lord.
It
That's
was wonderful.
That's good. So it's
Wait, when you got saved.
15 he was.
15 and a half
Yeah.
ish, just over 15.
So you're 15 and a half. You round about this time as well was when you were doing your apprenticeship,
Yes.
which you did for quite a while because you say you went to national service when you were 20.
Yes. So I had to leave my job to go into national service because it was compulsory. You didn't have a choice unless you were ill or something.
Yeah.
But so I went to do national service, and I finished up in Cyprus for 18 months.
Okay. And
that was the best thing I could have done.
brilliant. And so how was it like spiritually wise in Cyprus? Did you have good support? Did you have a fellow Christian?
Oh yeah, with a fellow Christian. There was a pastor there and a padre.
Yeah.
And I did preaching. I've done a lot of preaching in my life.
Yeah.
But I did a bit of preaching on one of my services.
There we go.
Yeah.
So John showed me yesterday, slightly reluctantly, but he did eventually.
Oh, no.
John's preached more than 200 sermons in his life, and he has the notes for them all. So
I wouldn't let anybody see them.
I have. Not all of them. I just saw a couple. They look good. So you love to you obviously got stuck into God's word. And
Oh yeah.
but I know presumably all your early life Sunday school teaching was not therefore lost on you, as in it built into.
No.
This
When I came back from Cyprus, and when I went back to the church, every year they used to give prizes out to the children, Sunday school children, and I was the one that gave the prizes.
You were
out.
giving the prizes. Nice, very good. So were you leading Sunday school at that point, or just were you like a, or you?
No, just a Sunday school teacher.
Just Sunday school teaching, right? Very good. Now let's just talk about Cyprus a minute. We know one of your hobbies, but here's a picture.
Oh yeah.
So tell us just what was it like?
That's one of the races I was in.
Is that you in the picture?
Do I look as though I'm at the back or the front?
There is no reference
somewhere in the middle.
Middle order.
Yeah.
You were telling me about the base was about 4 miles or 5 miles from the sea.
Oh yes, and 4 of us, we caught the bus to the Famagusta, the seaside, but then we had running shoes on, so we ran all the way back to the camp. And the next day, I had 2 legs like concrete blocks. Concrete blocks. I don't know if that was the start of what happens to me now, but
there we go.
Yes.
Now, when you're in Cyprus, or I think it might have been just at the end, you didn't come straight home. You got to go on a kind of a special holiday.
Oh no! While we were there, we were able to go on holiday.
Yeah.
So a few of us, we caught the plane to Jerusalem.
When you say you caught the plane, do you mean like an RAF plane or a?
No, I don't think.
Or was it just a normal plane?
I can't quite remember really.
Okay, so you went to Jerusalem.
Yeah.
And
spent a week there and stayed in a guest hotel and.
What made you want to go there?
Oh well, I was a Christian.
Yeah. So you went to the different places. Can you remember any others that you went to?
Well, I had well, you've got the photograph in a minute.
Where do you want me to go now? Come on then.
Go on then.
Where could he be there, I wonder? Yeah. Yeah.
I went for a lay down in the Dead Sea. You've got the photograph.
I have. It's on the screen.
Oh, is it?
It's behind you. You can hold on to it if you want to.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and you went.
I mean, I wasn't a very good swimmer, but I just.
You don't have to be a good swimmer in there.
Just went to lay down.
Be a good floater.
So I've been all over the place in the Holy Land. Because when we arrived in Jerusalem, there was a man with a van, and he would take people, a group of people in his van, each day to a different place to have a look at.
Right.
Yeah.
So you went to Jericho, I think, didn't you?
Jericho, yeah. Saw the old ruin. Bethlehem, yeah.
See, that's quite a privilege now. We sort of talk about that, but I know some of you have done a Holy Land tour, but right now, it's not really possible again, is it? It comes and goes, but you wouldn't go now, would you? At the minute, you just wouldn't do it.
The worst place I've ever been to, on the way home our way home by ship. I finished in Cyprus. The worst place I ever went to was the Bay of Biscay.
Why was it bad?
Oh, the ship's going, and we were all dying on our hammocks, and one young man was walking on the deck as though he was on dry land. Yeah.
So he'd been to sea before, perhaps. You, not so much, right?
No, that's just one thing I do remember. But yet it was wonderful going to Jerusalem and.
Good. I've got one more picture of something you did out there. This one.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, that's a camel. On a camel.
Funny that. You had to go on a camel.
Yeah.
There we go. John had to go on a camel while he was in. Where was that? Was that somewhere?
I can't remember. I can't quite remember exactly where it was.
Somewhere in the Middle East. Brilliant. Okay, so you came back to Britain, and your first printing job, your apprentice printing job, had a name, and you were making books.
I was a machine ruler, which is all the old-fashioned cash books, pound, shillings, and pence columns. I used to print those, but then when I got back to finish my apprenticeship for 1 year, that trade died out, so I retrained as a litho printer. Best thing that happened.
There you go. So you came back and
lithographic.
Kind of got on and trained, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
until I retired.
Yeah, good. Now you obviously met your wife.
Well, I knew when, because her uncle was our pastor.
Right.
She came to Hull to go to school for a little while, and when she was 13 and I was 14 or something like, we went out for 2 weeks.
Did you? Young love.
And then when I came home from Cyprus, we started going out together, and within 18 months we were married.
Okay, we've got a picture of that just there. I can't pass it to you because I can't find it. But anyway, it's that one. Now you got married at Fig Tree Gospel Hall.
Is it the one underneath?
Yeah, it might be under here. There it is. Now what month did you get married in?
December.
Yeah, December the 16th, 1961.
1960. Oh dear, don't tell anybody. Will you?
So now Fig Tree Gospel Hall. Who remembers that? Eileen.
So my roots are Pentecostal.
So Fig Tree Gospel Hall is looking less enticing right now. We were there. We were there yesterday. It's actually on the street that goes straight on from Caroline Street, so across the other side of Freetown Way. Can you see, if you look at, that's one way looking up it, and it's the building on the left. If you look the other way, then you're looking across Freetown Way.
Also Caroline Street, George.
Say again?
Also Caroline.
It's also Caroline Street, thanks for that. It's the rest of Caroline Street.
Yeah.
Say again, sorry? Yeah, I realised that. Yeah, what I realised is Freetown Way was imposed on it.
But
yes.
that big gate that you've just there, that's totally different. That's
what it looked like.
It was different.
Apparently, it was a very long, thin, deep building. Very, very
long
deep
building. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a photograph on them walking up the aisle.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, we've got one. I think in how have we got here? There we are. Yeah. Yes, the winter coats, yeah. Might be a bit of fur going on there. I was just saying.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very good. Now, you went on to have a family. Tell us about your family.
Well, I've got 4 children, and I had my 2 sons first, and then a daughter. 2 sons in the 60s, a daughter in the 70s, and one in the 80s.
You managed to get your children over 3 decades. Well done.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's the photo. Look.
Yeah, it's behind you.
Oh.
There's a pan here. It's almost like a pan.
I mean, the little one there is 41 or 2 now, the small one.
So, where did you live first of all when you were married?
Brunswick Avenue on Beverley Road. I think the houses have been pulled up because actually my wife's uncle owned it, but he allowed some anybody else in the church to rent it, but then they moved on to another town, and so we bought it for £560.
Did you? Bargain. Okay.
And sold it to my wife's cousin for 480.
Oh no, not bargain.
Because it had a limited lifetime on it.
Okay.
So then we moved down to Springbank. We tried to get a house on the Ghost Estate on Beverley High Road,
Yep.
where Tim Mitchell, that area.
Yep.
And we went to see somebody, and they said, "How much does your husband earn?" She said, £14 a week. Oh, he said, come back a bit later when you know you're earning more.
You didn't earn enough for a Ghost Estate house.
So so eventually we bought one on Springbank, and then stayed there 2 or 3 years. And then we moved into the street behind it. I can't remember the name of the street.
Yep.
My memories. And then we moved to Willoughby. And that was the best thing we did.
Excellent.
And then we're thinking of retirement, and we moved down a band and everything, and came to
Sutton Park.
Sutton Park.
There we go. Good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know you have pretty good contact, don't you, with your family? So Robert was born in 1962.
Yeah.
And
He lives on Willoughby Road, and he builds caravans.
Okay, builds caravans, and he has 2 children. You have two grandchildren by him.
Yeah.
And then you have Philip.
Yeah, he's a HGV driver, actually, the tall one.
Okay,
On the
oh,
left.
that's the top. Yeah. Okay, then you have Millie.
Oh, that's his daughter.
Oh yeah, Millie. Sorry, that's the daughter. Yeah. So then you have Rebecca.
Yeah, I've got my eldest daughter is Rebecca.
Yes.
And Rachel, the young one.
Yeah.
Robert and Philip.
Very good.
And
so tell us about so church-wise, what was going on? So did you take them all to
we took them all to Fig Tree, and one of them went to Germany for Philip, the young one, some course, spiritual course, and he wrote to us and said how it was wonderful. Then he slid in a few months.
Right.
And my daughter rang me. My eldest son, rang me once, and he said, "Dad," it was on holiday. He said he'd gone to a Christian holiday camp. "Dad, I've just got saved." Oh, wonderful! Now he's not interested now. So none of my family are walking with the Lord. That's what.
So that's a burden for you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So but Fig Tree was growing, wasn't it? And they decided to build a building.
Yes, yes.
And so, does anybody know what I know as the New Life building, really, on the corner of
It's down Charles Street at the.
Oh, yes, I know.
Yeah. So Fig Tree built that.
Yeah.
And moved into it, didn't you?
Yeah.
And it was.
And one of my children got baptised there.
Yeah. So then you were going there for a bit, I think. Is that right?
A few years.
Yeah. But then you had a bit of a change. Yeah. You ended up. Tell us about the Welsh Apostolic Church.
we joined the Welsh Apostolic Church.
I'm going to ask the question why, but I don't think you know the answer,
No,
do
I
you?
can't remember.
Because I tried it yesterday.
So it was based in Wales, but
But met on Springbank, weirdly.
there was a church on Springbank. Oh, right, it was a room upstairs, and we went there for quite some time.
Has anybody ever? I thought I knew because I've been around for a while, and I thought I knew of some church history. But when John speaks of the Welsh Apostolic Church, I literally had never heard of that. Is there anybody else in this room? Did it even really exist? John, did you just go in a room on your own?
No, I can't. And then and every so often, I would go to Castleford on the Sunday to preach in the morning and evening.
Well,
and one Sunday I got there and I was too late for the morning.
Because you were going by train,
Yeah.
and the train was late. Was
Must
the
have,
train?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I can't
He was
quite
preaching, but he didn't. He arrived after. Awkward.
Did you ever go to anything at Trafalgar Street Church when you lived on Brunswick Avenue?
Did you go to?
Well,
anything at
I went to Billy Graham's
relay
meetings. So when Billy Graham came in March or April '54, was it '54?
you went across to the relay.
We used to go to the relays and listen to Billy Graham preaching.
There we go.
Yeah.
So we worked out yesterday that you actually preached, not every week because you were always a lay preacher, but he has sermons written between 1958 and 1995, which is quite a span. About 200 sermons over that time. It's good, isn't it?
I told Jeff I'm not showing anybody then.
One day they'll be seen, John, don't you worry. Now,
You have to make a book of them.
well, they're in a book. They're ready to publish. They're ready to go. Just he's not so sure. Right. So there you are. You're preaching away. Are there any other particular areas of service in a church that you particularly remember or being part of?
No, I can't quite remember.
So you, after the Welsh Apostolic Church, I think we worked out you probably went back to, well, where I say back to, by the time you went back, it was called New Life. Is that right? Did you go to
Well, I think my wife said, "Oh, let's have a change," and we finished up at St John's.
Yes, eventually you end up in 1997, is that?
97, all
Yeah.
right, yeah.
So you come to St John's.
Yeah.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I'll tell you what, we just quickly breezed by. I forgot we hadn't shown that. Look, there's the door to New Life, which is sadly, that is a sad case really, because it's not a church anymore.
They sold that. It's a massive building, wonderful building. They were having baptisms there, and
Bridlington Ave, yeah. Bridlington Ave, yeah. Yeah.
the street across the road is very handy for me because I can park my car in and walk into the town.
Top tip from John, Norfolk Street, end of Norfolk Street. If you want to go town, do that. Right, so so you started to worship here at St John's, yeah, and you've been here for about however many years. That's good. Anything else particularly you want to say? Now, we obviously had a difficult situation occur with your family.
Oh yeah, my wife felt as though she wanted to be on her own, so she left me.
So that was very challenging.
And I couldn't persuade her, and the more I pestered her, the more she got, you know.
Yeah, so it was a difficult time, that, wasn't it? So,
yeah.
but I know that, you know, Melvin and
Mel
looked out for you and prayed with you, and Heather and But here you are. Now, what's your favourite hobby now?
Hobby? Playing the piano.
If you look behind you, I've been a bit naughty.
A bit naughty?
I said, what's your favourite?
No. I haven't been there yet today. I will be.
It's not Friday.
Oh no, I go for a 4 o'clock deal on a Friday, but I might be going with Alec to Greg's today.
I have to say, John's a generous man. He bought me a nice cappuccino in Greg's yesterday after our after our tour. It was great.
Up to your normal high standards, John.
Oh
Yeah, he didn't reject it, so that was good. Yeah.
I went in the shop this morning, and a man near where I live, and a man bought a drink. Sainsbury's. I can't remember the name of the company, and I said to him, "Greg's are much better than that."
John, you get thrown out for things like that?
No, but I'm one of these people that I talk to anybody, and very often, some people that I talk to, I'll say, "Excuse me, can I borrow some of your height, please?"
Right, let's talk about height, because we had a little funny talk about that yesterday. You say you were 5'7".
I was 5'7".
But unfortunately, in a recent medical analysis, how tall are you now?
5'4". Well,
this is different.
I was at Hull Royal Infirmary yesterday. No, Monday.
Day before, yeah.
Day before yesterday. Because I had some checkup and everything, and write a lot of things down.
You were 5'4". You were like, what happened?
I just keep shrinking. Because that's why I've got so many trousers. I keep every time I buy a new pair of trousers, I take them to the shop to get shortened.
Is that
2 inches off every?
It's a problem with it, that. Yeah. Good. So, you know, in terms of burden, things that you like, what are on your heart to pray for? What kind of things do you pray for?
Well,
Anything about your family?
I do pray for the opportunity to be able to witness to somebody. You know, when
Yeah.
when you're out, it's
Good.
It's not easy.
No.
But I know when we were here a couple of years ago, we used to deliver things, and I went round one of the streets, delivered about 400
Nice.
envelopes
Good.
that said in them. Oh, forgotten.
Yeah, they were like invites, weren't they, to the services and
No.
things? Yeah. But,
No,
or the,
John 3:16.
oh, yeah. For God so loved the world.
For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. And I put those through all the streets, through the
That's good.
letterboxes.
That's good. Yeah,
Mm.
that's good. And I know you love to pray for your family as well.
Oh yeah, every day, every
Yeah,
day.
it's good. Now you've had a good Bible reading habit. You were telling me a bit about that yesterday. So obviously, once you got saved, you obviously became really interested in reading your Bible. And what is your habit like these days? How do you kind of go about?
Well, I read
nourishing
my
yourself?
Bible in the Old Testament when I'm getting to bed.
Right.
Then when I get up in the morning,
Yeah.
I read the New Testament. But I'm doing this systematically, so I get through the New Testament quicker than the Old Testament.
Funny that. Yeah.
Because I did once count all the chapters in the Bible. I can't remember what they are now, but I've got a list of them.
Have you?
And so I'm in Isaiah at the moment, and Ephesians in the New Testament.
Brilliant.
So
Are you just
and
read
then
God's word?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and pray.
Yeah. I don't know if any of you haven't got a daily Bible reading habit. Someone like John's a good person to speak to, or some of us, just where do you start? What do you do? It's good to have that daily thing. Isn't it?
Absolutely.
Nourishment God's
I mean, it's the most important thing.
yeah, that's right. It is. Yeah.
Being a Christian. Yeah.
Good. Well, John, it's been absolutely brilliant talking to you.
Oh,
Let's
thank
see
you.
if anybody's got any questions and what other stories might come out therefore. Any questions for John, or any thoughts on anything he's said?
When I was a teenager in the fig tree, we used to go on holiday camping or in sheds to Matlock, and I was there just recently, and next door to Matlock is Matlock Bath, and that's where we went for our honeymoon, Matlock Bath.
Very good.
We didn't have a bath, but we.
Well, thank you very much, John. I really appreciate it. Let's give John a round of applause.